Hello everybody, I'm here with Ranger the Curly Horse, and I'm Allie, and I'm going to show you 5 simple groundwork exercises to gain control and respect from your horse. Okay, first of all, when you're doing groundwork, we're going to talk about pressure points on the horse and how you're going to get the horse to move and where you focus on those pressure points. Now mainly, you're going to look for areas that are where the muscles meet. So right here actually would move the forehand and also the head of the neck. Back up. All right, so if we want to move the forehand, our pressure point is going to be right here, which is going to be a little bit in front of our girth, which is also button number 1. So that's going to be able to move the forehand. Now, the next part we're going to talk about is the center of the horse. This is also going to be your safe zone when you're working with the horse, because they can't step on you in this particular area. But right here is going to be basically where we're going to be able to control the horse's midsection and rib cage. And right here, where the hip meets the stomach, that's basically button number 3. So any pressure right in there will get the horse to disengage their hindquarter. The next thing we're going to talk about is utilization of pressure. Kind of ask, please will you do that? Suggest, I suggest you need to do that. And then demand, which is you need to do that right now. Okay, so you don't actually have to touch the horse with this, but the first thing you really need to be able to do is swing your rope forward. That's going to give that just little magical barrier that lets your horse know that you're serious about moving and that they respect that barrier. So moving your rope in a circle and getting your horse to respect that barrier, especially when you're asking them to back up or get away from that, is going to be your first exercise. So first exercise for control and respect is make sure your horse respects that barrier by swinging your rope. So we're going to move the horse's head up and down and side to side. So with this exercise, first of all, you're going to take your hand that's closest to the horse on that side, and you're going to give a nice little bit, and you are going to take a dip, put your head down until your horse gives, and release, and back up, and dip down. You're going to take a step back into your safe zone, back over here, and ask your horse to give. Now your horse must stop, whoa, give their head, and then you release. So doing that on the other side, I step back into the safe zone, I ask the horse to give until they stop, and then release. And then to move to the front, just step forward, ask the horse to give, and release, step back, ask the horse to give, and release, and do that on both sides comfortably. Next exercise that you're going to want to do is get control of the head and the neck. And so you're going to want to be able to bring your horse's head down just by asking and then release, ask and release. So once you get the down motion, then you can ask for the... Our next exercise is disengage the hindquarters. So you want to have the hand that faces the horse's head. You want to have like a Y, and you could be able to hold that, be able to just turn their eye back to you. Then you're going to change your posture. So you're going to start looking down at those feet, move your head down, and you're going to ask them to disengage. Disengage the hindquarters. See that cross? Cross, cross. Stand up. Let's walk back over here. Remember, what you do on one side, you have to do on the other. So I take my feet, I'm looking at the back feet, I'm moving, and cross, 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 stand up straight, and the horse will come right back to you. Exercise is going to have you do a back and a turn on the haunches, which moves the forehand. So you're going to first be able to walk your horse forward with a lot of slack, stop your horse, whoa, move back, switch hands. So now my motivation hand is in my right and pressing or putting pressure on button number 1, and over here, this is how I'm going to control his head. So I'm going to walk really right here behind the ears, right at his bridle path. So I'm going to walk a nice circle, and I'm going to, see, they don't always do that. So I'm going to add a little pressure, come on. So I'm going to add pressure, add pressure, add pressure, add pressure, come on. There we go. There we go, until I finally got a nice little crossover. So it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Let's go back to where I was, hand up, and we're going to ask for the turn. Come on, add pressure as needed. Actually, I'm going to touch the button. Come on, button, come on, button, and make sure he's responding really well to it. See, this is all about respect. Once I earn his respect again, there we go, we get a much better turn. So what we do on one side, we do on the other. So again, back up. I'm going to look at his front feet. Back up, back up, back up. Hand up, look at the front feet. Other hand right here. And I'm going to start asking button number 1. If he goes too far in front, I'm going to... We did this perfectly just a few minutes ago. There you go. Come on, one more. There you go. Just to prove. You got to keep practicing it all the time. And if you want your horse to respect you, you've got to make sure that you do the exercises right. And when you do get a correct response, that you release and you give them a reward. And some horses like different rewards. Some horses are very food motivated. Other horses have special places where they scratch. See, that's a good spot. But he most likely really loves a treat. So that's my special reward for him. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. And if you want to see more, check out our playlist.